problematic people? Let me know what you think. 0344 499 1000. Tweet me at Claudia Liza TV. Let's get you across everything you need to know in the world of finances in terms of how much money could be going into your wallet, how much money could be going out. Finance expert Roger Giwald joins me now. Good evening to you, sir.
Hello.
We're going to talk about what one rail boss could be considering doing. Now, you know, you look at me, Roger, and you think, oh my gosh, CL wakes up like that. No, no, no. It takes a lot of work. You see my bags of makeup, my hair products. It's a lot of bags. And apparently, this guy, this boss of a rail firm, if I'm carrying all my bags on a train, on his train, they could charge me more. Outrageous.
It sure is. Well, I mean, I'm glad we started with that, because I think we've got a couple of stories today that are so silly that they've actually made my day. This is the first one. I mean, some people will do anything, I guess, to get in the newspapers, you know.
I hope it's just that.
Well, I mean, because the first thing he admits is that the equipment wouldn't do this anyway. There's no way for the ticket machines and the ticketing system to assess who has big bags and small bags and what they should pay and why they should. So the whole idea doesn't work anyway without probably spending gazillions on new equipment. And I can just imagine that equipment. So, you know, this guy's got a small bag, this lady has a big bag. I mean, it's going to get worse than that. I mean, you and I are going to go to an awards dinner on a train in Manchester, and the new machine's going to look at you and look at your ticket and scan it. And it's going to look at me, and then there's red lights going to go, uh-oh, fat BA blank, 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 5 times the fare, right? Because I'm taking up more room than a suitcase.
But he's not saying. So this is Martijn Gilbert. That's right, managing director of Lumo.
Yeah.
Right. But even though you're saying in the same breath, he's saying it could be still, you know, might not be achievable to do something like that. But nonetheless, he's talking about it.
Yeah, he's trying to save people money, yeah.
Well, will he save people money? So, okay, here we go. So if they want to charge more for people with more luggage, then if I just rock up with a purse, will my fare be cheaper?
That's what he's saying.
All right, now we're talking. Okay, maybe I won't carry my makeup with me anymore.
But they're just going to squeeze more seats in. It's going to become more and more uncomfortable. I mean, you know, I think trains are expensive enough already. If you could get the price down because you travel lightly, I guess that's a good idea, but it sounds very unworkable.
Let's see. You say that, hey, but I remember once upon a time when there was talk about charging people more for driving into central London. How we laughed, how ludicrous we thought that would be. How could they pull it off? And guess what? They did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who knows, right? Who knows? BA have given a little bit of a warning to Heathrow about how the summer could look when it comes to people going away on holiday.
They underestimated, actually, the head of British Airways, I think it was, said that they think they may have underestimated traffic by about 10 million last year. The traffic was some 60 million before and 19 million last year during the pandemic, and it's going to apparently go back up to 96% of normal, and they just can't cope. And so people should be prepared for some real delays at Heathrow, because everybody associated with the airport is scared to death of normal traffic resuming this summer.
So what does that mean? Could it be, because it was a nightmare last summer? It really was. What, people's tickets were cancelled at the last minute.
Yep.
So could there be a repeat of that?
Yes, that's apparently what they're saying. They haven't put that into specific words.
Oh, geez, come on. This is crazy.
I know. They've said they're worried about the threat, but they haven't said what the threat is. That'll probably...
We know. We were there.
We know.
We remember. And what is so ludicrous about this is the air industry was screaming for those limits to be, when it came to COVID, right? Travelling with COVID, those restrictions to be lifted, right? It be lifted, and it was nuts last summer, and they haven't sorted it out again for this summer.
Be prepared for what you ask for, that you might get it. I think that's the lesson. It's very, very scary, CL, because they're clearly not prepared. And, you know, whenever you go there and it's really crowded, it's almost frightening, isn't it?
And people are desperate, as I said, because of COVID, because of all the restrictions to travelling. We couldn't go places at one point. And now we've got the chance to do that. You would have thought that airlines, airports will be doing all they can to make sure they can cater. Well, they're losing money as well.
Absolutely, hand over foot. You say, what should we do? I was in the gym a couple hours ago. There was a fellow a couple of machines away talking on his mobile to his, talking on the video to his trainer. They were doing a Zoom.
Oh, yeah.
And he was saying, I got a plane to New York at whatever time. He said, I'm going now. He said, I'm going to be there hours and hours early. That's all you can do is just get there early.
Anyway, I don't know. It really is. I cannot believe that we're here, that they won't be able to handle the many people that they wanted to travel in the first place. Let's talk about banks. We've had that interest rate rise, another one from the Bank of England recently, and it's bad news if indeed you've got a mortgage and you're on a variable rate, or you've got a loan, credit cards, etc. Good news, however, for savers, or at least it should be good news for savers.
Yeah, well, I mean, the banks never seem to pass on the rate increases on our savings accounts, do they? Never.
Yeah, it's so bad.
I think it's government's duty. I think it's the regulator's duty to make sure they do that. But, I mean, I've been in this country for decades, and I've never seen it happen once. The rates go up. It's about 2 nanoseconds for them to raise our mortgage and our loan and our credit card rates. But, you know, I've never had an email saying your savings rate is going up at the same time. And when I get an email or a letter quite some time later, it's usually a very small percentage in comparison to what the rise was. I think.
But when it goes down, they're quick to bring it down.
Yeah. I just think the government really should be doing something more about this. But the story that really concerns me today, CL, is concerning, and I'm not singling them out. I'm sure the other banks are in similar positions, but Lloyds, who've announced their results, they've made £6.9 billion, almost £7 billion in the past year.
Whoa.
And they have warned that they're very concerned about some hundreds of thousands of customers who are on fixed rate mortgages that are going to expire this year. And that with the new mortgage rates, which thanks to the Bank of England raising interest rates, as you've said, 10 times, which many people would think was a big mistake, I being one of them, those mortgage monthly payments are going to be unaffordable for many of those people. They're going to lose their homes because they can't refinance them.
So Lloyds is a big worry.
Yeah, it's a big worry. So Lloyds is calling them, as they actually called several million people they contacted last year, apparently, and then wrote off 1.5 billion pounds of profit. Still left with 7 billion this year, but wrote off 1.5 billion of profit because the losses they feel are going to start coming now. Okay, but at the same time, CL, they have paid a 12% bonus increase on their bankers' bonuses. So in a year where earnings were flat, they did not go up, the bonus bankers got their bonuses and then got a 12% bonus on that bonus. Now, let me be very clear. A bonus is important to bankers. They get a lower salary for performance, and then the bonus brings them up, to where they expect to be. Fine, I don't have a problem with bonuses. But to pay a 12% bonus when nurses and firemen or fire people and ambulance people and all the rest are screaming and striking for a small percentage, that just strikes me as very wrong.
Or to get yourself a very nice, hefty, you said 12% on top of the 12%, right?
Well, no, the bonus might be 50%, 100%, 10%, it depends on performance. But 12% on whatever it would normally be.
On top of that, that's a hefty bonus.
Hefty.
Fine, capitalist society, be you, do you. However, not pass on interest rate rises with that. That's
and kick people out of their homes. Hundreds of thousands of people out of their homes. So here's my crazy Dr. Rogers folly idea. Let them call it that, but just do it. Those bankers should give 10% of that bonus on the bonus to Lloyds to create a pool to give relief so that people don't lose their homes. Why not? Maybe they'll even feel good about it. It would be good to see some generosity coming out of the banking sector for once.
Well, I got to say, it wasn't just Lloyds criticised, other banks as well criticised for the same thing, offering, as you said, not offering competitive levels. We did actually get in touch with Lloyds, invited them on the show. They didn't respond to our invitation, though. But yeah, not just Lloyds. Other banks just behaving badly, sadly.
That's a shame. I would have loved somebody sitting here that we could all chat with.
I would have had a lot to say and a lot of questions to anybody, really. But yes, it is a shame. This is a really strange story. So, some people are calling for meat-shaming labels which will work in the same way the risks of cigarette smoking. So the labels on cigarettes, which shows you the risks of poisoning, potential deaths, etc. They want the same thing to feature on meat to shame people into about eating meat.
Yes.
This is just so odd.
Academics at Delft University in Holland, in the Netherlands, have completed a study.
Whoa.
And they want to put pictures of sad animals on all products containing meat, with slogans and straplines that make you feel bad about eating those products. Now, it raises a couple of questions. First of all, I've got a lot of vegetarians in my family. We all manage to sit down and have meals together without fighting breaking out. I don't know why meat eaters need to be castigated and punished, but in any event, how do you know when an animal, how do you see a picture of a sad animal? How do you know when an animal is sad? What are they talking about? I mean, you know
when an animal is sad. I mean, I don't have any pets, but you can tell. I've never had pets.
You can look at a droopy bloodhound and it might be having the best day of its life. You don't
really?
know.
Okay.
You don't know. And the interesting thing is, in their study, CL, it showed that the warnings are of two kinds.
Yeah.
One is for your personal health, and the other is environmental.
Is meat dangerous to our health?
Duh. Well, I mean, this is another mistake they've made. They're comparing it, as you just said, to the warnings on fag packs. Well, they're warning you not to hurt yourself. This isn't about you. This is warning animals.
Cigarettes are poisonous. They absolutely are. Food.
They are.
Substance.
It's just such confused thinking for people who've got nothing better to do. In any event, the one that I love the best, the study showed that the personal health warnings are nowhere as effective as the environmental ones. So I love the best slogan of all, which is, if you eat meat, you will destroy the Amazon rainforest. Say what?
That will make me feel very bad. I have to say, I saw that picture. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? But I want some salmon. But no, oh.
How's that gonna destroy the Amazon rainforest?
Well, isn't it? Oh my, I don't know. Where's Insulate Britain when you need them? Isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
The travelling,
why aren't they
flying,
camped out in the studio here? Yeah.
The carbon footprints. Oh, I don't know. Okay, fine, you win. Always a pleasure. See you this time next week. Before we go to a break, I've got to